AITA for refusing to let my sister come to my wedding if she keeps pushing me to have our stepdad be father of the bride. I, 29F, have one younger sister, 22F. We share the same biological parents. Our dad passed away when I was 9 and she was only 2. That loss shaped me in ways I don't think my sister has ever fully grasped, mostly because she was too young to have the same bond or memories that I carry of him. When I was 11 and she was 4, our mom remarried. Her new husband became our stepdad. I never warmed to him. To be clear, he wasn't abusive or cruel, just not my dad. He wasn't someone I felt comfortable turning to for advice, comfort, or support. By the time he entered the picture, I was already old enough to remember my dad clearly, to understand grief, and to resist the idea of anyone replacing him. My sister, though, was still a little girl. For her, he was dad in every way that counted. She bonded with him, loved him, and grew up seeing him as her real father. I don't begrudge her that. I actually think it's good she had someone to fill that role since she didn't get the years with our biological dad that I did. But here's where the tension starts. She doesn't just see him as her dad. She insists that he's our dad. And to her, acknowledging our biological father as anything other than a genetic contributor is wrong, disrespectful, or even disloyal. That's been a point of friction for years. The first big blow-up happened when we visited our dad's grave. His family, our grandparents, aunts, uncles, left a card that said, "For Dad's little girls." My sister was furious. She felt they were disrespecting our stepdad by calling us his little girls. I tried to explain that they weren't erasing stepdad. They were honoring their son, their brother, my dad. But my sister lost it. She screamed that he's our dad now, that our grandparents needed to accept that, and even told them she hoped they joined him in the ground soon, since they wouldn't come to terms with reality. That shattered me. Those words hurt our grandparents deeply, and they were just trying to include us in their grief. My sister ended up going no contact with Dad's family. She accused them of turning me against her because I refused to disown them. She called me brainwashed, set in my ways, and disloyal for not embracing stepdad as dad. We fought about it for weeks. She said I wasn't normal because I didn't see him as my father figure. I reminded her I already had a dad who raised me for 9 years, and stepdad came in after that. She argued parenting doesn't end at 18, and I had known him longer now. I countered that by 18 I had already moved out and barely relied on him. Eventually, the fight cooled down, but the rift never really healed. Every so often, the subject would flare back up. One Father's Day, I posted a remembrance for our dad, 20 years since his passing. My sister hated it. She said it was disrespectful to stepdad. She told me my post invalidated him. I said honoring my biological father wasn't about invalidating anyone. She didn't accept that. I tried explaining over and over, my love for my dad is not negotiable. I can't reassign it to another man just because he's alive and married to our mom. For me, stepdad is mom's husband. I'm civil, polite, but not close. I've never called him dad and never will. My mom and stepdad never understood this either. They expected me to fold into the narrative where we were one big, blended family. But that wasn't my reality. It created distance between me and my mom too. Fast forward to now, I'm engaged. Planning the wedding has forced these old wounds wide open again. From the beginning, my plan was that my stepdad would not be walking me down the aisle, would not be in the father of the bride spotlight, and would not get a special dance. He would simply attend as my mom's +1. I intended to acknowledge him in a toast with her, but that's it. My sister hates this. She believes I'm snubbing him, humiliating him, and being disrespectful. She has made it her personal mission to pressure me into changing my mind. And then she crossed the line. Behind my back, she told my stepdad that I was going to ask him to walk me down the aisle, that I'd finally come around. Of course, this caused a disaster. My mom and stepdad confronted me, angry and hurt. My stepdad sulked. My mom accused me of being cruel, and I had to awkwardly tell them the truth, that I had no such plans. That confrontation spiraled into a massive fight. As a result, I ended up uninviting both my mom and stepdad. I confronted my sister about the lie. She shrugged and said she was just trying to get me to do the right thing. I told her she had no right to lie on my behalf and manipulate my wedding plans. We argued, voices raised, until I finally snapped. If you keep pushing this, you won't be invited to the wedding either. She exploded. She accused me of always hating her for loving our stepdad. She claimed I resented her because she wanted a dad who was alive instead of clinging to a dead guy. She screamed that I ruined our family by refusing to embrace him. I told her calmly, I can't take my love away from dad and give it to someone else. I can't love a man who tried to force his way into that spot. That only enraged her more. She cursed me out and finally threw at me. You're being an ass. Threatening to keep me away from your wedding is just punishing me. I walked away. Since then, I've refused to engage with her on the topic. This whole thing makes me feel sick. I love my sister. She's my only sibling. We've shared so much life together. But her relentless push to rewrite my reality and force me to accept her version of family is exhausting and hurtful. I'm tired of defending my grief. Tired of being told my bond with my father is invalid because he's dead. Tired of being called hateful for not giving someone a title he didn't earn in my heart. At the same time, I worry I am being too harsh. Weddings are emotional, and maybe I could let her attend even if she keeps pushing. But I also know boundaries matter, and if she can't respect mine, then why should she be there? Part of me wonders, would she even sit quietly through the ceremony? Or would she make some dramatic scene because stepdad wasn't front and center? I honestly don't trust her not to cause drama. Friends have been mixed. Some say, it's your wedding, your rules. Others suggest I should just give stepdad a symbolic role to keep the peace. One friend told me, you'll regret not having your sister there more than you'll regret caving on one detail. My grandparents, dad's side, fully support me. They've always respected my feelings about my father. They told me they'll stand by whatever decision I make. My fiancé is 100% in my corner. He's seen how toxic these fights get. He says my sister's behavior crosses a line and that my mental health matters more than anyone's feelings about titles. Right now, my mom and stepdad are uninvited. My sister is technically still invited, but I've told her I'm serious about rescinding if she doesn't drop it. She keeps texting that I can't keep her away, that I'm not being fair, and that she loves me too much to miss it. But actions speak louder than words. If she loved me, wouldn't she respect my boundaries? So, AITA for refusing to let my stepdad have a father of the bride role, for threatening to uninvite my sister over her interference, and for uninviting my mom and stepdad altogether? Or am I just protecting myself and my wedding from being hijacked by people who refuse to respect my choices? I genuinely want outside perspective because I feel torn between wanting my sister there and wanting peace. AITA? Update. The week after I posted, I stuck to my boundaries. I stopped engaging in any back-and-forth arguments with my sister. Every time she tried to bring up stepdad, I shut it down or ended the conversation. It was hard because she kept circling back, but I needed to protect my sanity. My fiancé was a rock during all this. He reminded me daily that we're building our life together and that the wedding should reflect us, not unresolved family drama. That perspective helped me recenter. After a few days of radio silence, my sister sent me a long message apologizing, sort of. She said she was sorry for lying to stepdad and causing drama, but then doubled down that she still thought I was making a mistake. She kept saying things like, "You'll regret this when you realize you pushed away your only living father." I told her plainly, "Stepdad isn't my father. If you can't respect that, don't come." That finally seemed to sink in. She didn't respond for 2 days. Then she texted again, calmer this time, saying she does want to be there for me and that she'll drop it if that's what it takes. I told her that's exactly what it takes. We haven't had a major fight since, but the tension is there. My mom initially refused to speak to me after I uninvited her and stepdad. She said I was cruel, ungrateful, and breaking the family apart. But then my grandmother, dad's mom, stepped in and had a heart-to-heart with her. She reminded her that I'm an adult and entitled to my own boundaries, and that forcing a narrative down my throat would only backfire. A week later, mom reached out. She didn't exactly apologize, but she softened. She asked if she and stepdad could still attend as guests. I said yes, as long as they respect my wishes. No aisle walk, no dance, no spotlight moment. Just guests. They reluctantly agreed. Stepdad hasn't said much directly to me. From what I can tell, he's still sulking but will go along with whatever mom decides. So as of now, mom and stepdad are re-invited as regular guests. My sister is still invited, but she's on very thin ice. She knows if she stirs anything up, she's out. Dad's family is still fully invited and supportive. It's not perfect, but it feels manageable. The biggest change is that I've stopped trying to get anyone to understand my feelings. I realized I don't need their understanding, just their respect. This has been incredibly draining. I've cried more over family drama than over any actual wedding planning. But I feel clearer now. I don't owe anyone the rewriting of my grief or my love for my dad. One comment that stuck with me was, "You're not dishonoring your stepdad. You're honoring your father." That's not mutually exclusive, unless other people make it so. That really resonated. I still hope, long-term, my sister and I can rebuild trust. But for now, I'm choosing peace over constant battles. And honestly, having my fiancé's support has made me realize that's what matters most. The marriage, not the politics of the guest list.